back to the Dave Nemo Show.
It's now Friday, Freaky, Feisty, Flinty Friday on the Dave Nemo Show on 146. And by the way, guys, I want you to head over to radionemo.com and subscribe over there. Go to YouTube and subscribe over there, too. Lots of great content. I don't doubt that in a little bit over here at the ACT Expo, Jonathan Randall, JR, the president of Mack Trucks of North America, this content is going to be up and over there as well pretty darn soon. Welcome. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Jimmy Mack.
So yeah, I mean, I'm Mack. We just keep repeating that over the entire course of the segment. Let's talk a little bit about being here, about why it's so important for Mack Trucks of North America, Mack Trucks North America, to actually be present here at this, and it's very exciting. I mean, this is they pulled it off. This is a great conference. So talk a little bit about what your experience has been here so far, and why you think it's so important for you guys to have a big presence here.
Sure. So first of all, thanks for having me. Really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you and the audience. So this show every year takes on more and more importance for us because we view it as the place to come learn about the future of our industry and then be able to show and share with our customers and just the industry in general where we're headed. And then we really take the opportunity to get great feedback from our customers as well on the path we're headed on. So we view this as an opportunity to showcase, but we also, equally important to us, view it as an opportunity to learn.
Yeah, I mean, it really is about talking and listening. And I can't tell you the commonality of so many people we've had on the show. It's tough. I was laughing about this in a former life. I used to have a job that required us to do some community servicing. And often I'd find myself talking to members of the community on their porch, on basketball courts, and all that kind of stuff. And I'd be like, man, I'm really wasting time here. And my partner finally told me, no, you're actually doing the real job here. And so much about what you guys do is listening to the people who drive your equipment, people who purchase your equipment. You really have to get to know the people who are purchasing this and actually the people who are operating this stuff, correct?
Well, without question, not only who are purchasing and operating it, but who are thinking about the future of the industry and what it's going to look like and what they need in order to achieve whatever their targets are from a transportation standpoint, for sustainability goals, just in general, how we grow into what the future of the transportation industry is going to be. Because the future is alternative powertrains, it's alternative drivetrains. Combustion engine will be around for a long time, but there's other technologies that we're going to be coming to market with, that the customers are going to adopt, that are viable, commercially viable for us, viable operationally for them, and we just want to make sure that we're in the mix and we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, and part of it is also communicating and also educating your customers as well too, because you've got some really big developments recently in electric vehicles. You've got developments in technological innovations. So talk to me, using those devices, how you actually train your customers up, not learn them, but say get them comfortable with what you have coming next and make them see how it's going to make for a better, more profitable, and more fun future for them.
Sure. So ultimately it's about showcasing what we have and then what our thoughts are on where we're headed. And we've got a three-pronged strategy at Mack, and that's part of the larger Volvo group. We think that battery electric is certainly a solution, and it has its place, but it's not the only solution, right? It's not the end-all. And so, of course, we've got joint ventures and partnerships, cell-centric with hydrogen fuel cells. And so we're working on that because we believe that has viability going the long term. And then lastly, a joint venture with Westport Systems on fuel systems on an internal combustion engine. So really, we've got a three-pronged approach. We bring that to the market. We bring that to our customers here. We demonstrate it. We showcase it. And then we get the feedback on where we're headed again and where the customers think the solutions are going to be for their specific applications.
Well, that's why it's so important to know your customers, because there are people where you're going to be like, look, we're doing some stuff over here in hydrogen. I'm not really sure you need that right now for what you're trying to accomplish. Or you have certain companies where it's like you need the whole package. You have so many different kind of aspects to what it is you are and who it is you service. If you're not looking towards the future while strengthening what is happening now, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So it really becomes a matter of targeting your friends and figuring out what it is they need specifically for them. This is not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's a strategy that requires multiple strategies inside of it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, the most fun thing about coming here, by the way, too, at Mack, and we're in the midst of celebrating 125 years in business, right? Which is not something that many companies get to say, and even less say that they remain relevant in the segment they're playing in. But the surprise from people who know Mack as who we've been historically the technological advancements we make in this kind of application. Because, you think of Mack, you think of work trucks, you think of dirty trucks, you think of trucks that have reliability, durability.
Yeah, but you guys just
do
had
the tough jobs.
You had a couple of big announcements that are really what people would call the next newfangled technology, the next cutting edge kind of stuff. But here's the thing, it still harkens back to the actual brand. I've noticed that about a lot of your new products. They're definitely Mack products, are they not?
They are, without question. Mack has always been, since 1900, about innovation, right? And so that doesn't change. That's still in our DNA. And you bring up the latest things we've been doing. Of course, we've got everything here. We're showing a medium-duty electric. We're showing a garbage truck electric. We're showing our e-axle today. We're showing batteries with Proterra and our sister company Proterra. At the same time, we're also publicly showing, for the first time ever, our new standard, what we're calling the new standard in trucking, the Mack Pioneer, which we introduced just a couple weeks ago in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I had a great conversation with Michael Fries from Transport Topics. He and I went into the absolute weeds talking, and that thing is really cool, too. I won't lie to you. At the end of the day, everybody...
it's badass.
Yeah, I mean, it's badass. And I'm going to make this really clear. At the end of the day, we can talk about eating your broccoli, it's good for you, and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, if people aren't... Part of Mack's appeal is that it's fun.
Yes.
Is that it's a good time. And the idea, you hit it on the nail. In 1908, you guys had the crazy idea that we're going to replace wagon trains with horses with machines that actually move it. So why would you not be on the cutting edge of what's next, right?
And that's our driving force, has been our driving force since we were founded in Brooklyn. I mean, we've been Brooklyn since 1900, and then we moved to Allentown, Pennsylvania in 1908. We started building trucks in 1907. We were buses first, and we've just innovated every decade since in this commercial industry, which again is why we're able to remain relevant for 125 years.
JR, what's your story? I mean, how do you get pulled into the centrifugal force that is Mack Trucks?
Interestingly enough, I went to college for a communications degree with a minor in journalism. And
I have no problem with any of that. I think that's a fine, noble way to kind of major your way through college, by the way.
I agree. I have a daughter who's a science major, and she's just like, I wish I was a liberal arts major. It's so much easier. I took offense to that, but, it describes me perfectly.
It is so much easier until you want to become president of Mack. Let me make that really clear. You can tell her that, too. You can say that I said that, by the way. So that's it.
That's fair. So, no, my very first job out of college, interestingly enough, was as a radio DJ on a country western station in Brush, Colorado. And I very quickly realized that if I was going to make it in radio and TV, there were going to be a lot of stops like Brush, Colorado in the future. And I decided that, I probably didn't have the longevity or desire for that. So I got into selling and started out in California selling wine. Got into the transportation industry, moved because I was in Chicago, and since then just started with the OEM and worked my way up through good luck, good fortune, great people around me, and a little hard work.
You do realize, though, that the first job you ever had was a chance to talk to a lot of the people that buy the products that you now are in charge of making happen all over the world.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, without question. Without question.
I have a number of broken pair of boots in my day, too. JR and I could probably talk all morning here. Jonathan Randall is joining us, president of Mack Trucks North America. I did want to ask you, too, is there anything else you've seen here since you've been here that you just thought was really cool in regards to the energy and the environment going on around here?
There's these buzzwords that kind of work their way through the shows and the years as you talk about innovation and things. And the interesting thing, last year it was all about supplier resiliency, right? That was the buzzword coming out of what was COVID and the things that people had to deal with. I think the interesting thing for me today is that the word of the day is uncertainty, right? And the fact that we're dealing with uncertainty, but at the same time, there's also a lot of great technology and advancements with autonomous, and then the divergence of the technologies to meet the application demands, right? It was so heavy focused years ago about battery electric, and that was the solution. But when you walk around the show floor now, you see so many different solutions. What else? Hydrogen, fuel cells, and now a big conversation is around the technology and the defined vehicle, right? The SDVs that are part of the big conversations anymore. The software-defined vehicles, right? And where that's going to go with AI. It's fascinating.
I'm going to say this. I want you and I to start a trend here. We're going to stop the word uncertainty from floating around. We're going to talk about inflection.
I love that.
Because I feel like we're at an inflection point. We
I
could
love
go
that.
a multitudinous number of ways, and we're just not sure which way. I think we just have to choose. I think we start making some choices, and we'll get to whatever is next.
Well, look, we're sitting in a booth surrounded by all of these people who are still committed to driving innovation and driving advancement, regardless of whatever uncertainty might be there. I like it. I'm adopting inflection going forward. I will never say uncertainty again.
Thank you so much, Jonathan Randall. My new friend JR, President Mack Trucks North America, has joined us this morning. Where can they go to find out more about Mack?
Just go to macktrucks.com. You'll see, number one, the amazing live event we held a couple weeks ago in Brooklyn.
It was just
about
great.
The introduction. But MackTrucks.com.
I got called from it. My friend Michael Free's like, "You got to be here." I'm like, "I can't be here. I'm in New Orleans. You enjoy yourself."
You missed out. It was a heck of a night. 125 years in the new truck. Go to MackTrucks.com. You'll find everything you need to know.
Guys, go to Radio Nemo. Go to RadioNemo.com. Make sure you subscribe over there. Go to our YouTube page. We got some big stuff coming up there as well. It is the Dave Nemo Show, 146. We'll be back after these messages here at the ACT Expo. By the way, Russell over in New Orleans, get me out of here.